Scorpio and White Stag people. So I've laid your cards already. It's a Celtic cross, and it's very interesting. It ends up in a really wonderful position, and it shows you using your mind to overcome some self-victimization. I can see that you're crawling out, or you have just crawled out, of quite a tricky stage of in your mind, but it's going somewhere absolutely beautiful. So I'll dive in and then we'll add cards to it and we'll aim to sort of clarify anything that needs to be spoken of more. So you in your interior world, I don't know why she reminds me of the Princess Bride. There must be a scene in the Princess Bride where she's tied up, but this is self-victimization with the Eight of Wands. We always say these binds can actually be taken off quite easily, and she can move, but she's kind of got so used to thinking in a negative way that she's kind of stuck herself, and that is not much fun. But how it's making you act on the outside world is you're aware of this, I think, because you're using your King of Wands, this sort of CEO, clear thinking, tough, to try. Well, you have found something that you want to go for instead. You've found a place that you want to be mentally, I think, instead. And you're using this kind of clear, incisive thinking to get there. The root of the situation is feeling a bit beleaguered. I love this guy with his two different shoes. One is a shoe, one is a boot. Again, he's in the middle of that river. It's interesting, isn't it? So it's feeling as if life is gushing past you and you can't quite get a grip on it. So she's sort of unable to even see what's going on. He's so busy warding off these different things that he needs to deal with, or pressures, that he can't really enjoy the fruits of this free-flowing emotion. He is winning, but we want to see you in where you're ending up, in a more relaxed, enjoyable position with all of this. It's not much fun being the Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and we have another seven here. So that's interesting, but it's in your attitude. So in the recent past, suddenly getting a strategy, suddenly thinking, I don't want to be that victim anymore. I might have to make it up a little bit with the Page of Swords, but I'm going to get onto this higher ground that we know you're on already, and I'm going to start to think, how could I get myself out of this? How could I make up some new rules? What new habits could I have? What can I go for? So that's lovely. And a potential outcome is the counterpart to the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords. So she really is incredibly truthful and tough. Probably having a bit of a word with this Page of Cups, who's all imaginative and caught in fancy. And I don't know. Well, it's interesting. In your hopes and fears, you want that kind of romanticism. Maybe she's teaching him. She's saying, okay, if you want to go for this imaginative idea, if you want to be able to bring into life something that because look, her hand is standing out to me very much today. She's talking to him. I'm going to show you the way to do it, and we need to employ some tough thinking around it. In the near future, we see you in the Five of Pentacles, feeling a little bit left out in the cold, or a lot left out in the cold, but starting to scan around for how, I've got to cover the worlds, how you can get back into the centre of your world. We've already got the Three of Wands, but here, so I think the Three of Wands was like, okay, I need to sort my mental processes out. I know what I need to do. I can't cope with this anymore. And now in the near future, the Two of Wands is starting to try and look around to see how it can get you back into a community, work, friends, money, back into life in a way that your mental processes have probably been taking you away from. And so that's very positive as well. In your attitude, the Seven of Cups, there seems to be quite a lot of different options ahead of you. We can see you're considering them and picking them. You might be a little bit beleaguered. This is a card I want some clarification on. because it might be that you've got to the position which the advice of this card, which would say just pick one and go for it, which I think there is a suggestion that that's the truth when we see the Page of Swords, because she would have picked something and just gone for it. But are you still feeling a little unsure that these are what you want? Let's see when we go to clarify. And in your home life or your environment, it's actually very happy. These people are enjoying that river and everything's very balanced. So it might not be your home life that's suffering. It might be a sense of you in the world with money and work. Because I think that at home things are okay, whether that's with a family, with your friends, with a pet, who knows. And your hopes and fears, you want the Six of Cups. You want to feel connected to something that you really loved in the past. I'm just seeing what jumps out at me on this one. Yeah, you want the tower for some reason or other, and what's going on in that tower, in that window. You want to be able to be connected to a part of your life that you feel quite nostalgic about. And it kind of relates to that Page of Cups that the Queen is schooling. We need to get you there. But and then we see the Ten of Pentacles. So you are getting there. This is generational wealth. This is the complete opposite of the Five of Pentacles. This is where things have really worked out for you. I can see the man patting the dog and the dog really talking to it. Everything is as it should be. It's a busy, fecund family life. I can see some sailing boats. So let's clarify this with the Enchanted Tarot, Forest Tarot to start with. And so let's see what it wants us to focus on to start with. And then I might ask specifically if it doesn't become clear about that Seven of Cups. So let's see. I love it. I just said I might try and ask about that Seven of Cups, and then we've got a Seven of Doors. I think, actually, is that the Seven of Cups? Let's double check. How interesting. So this is its comment on that, I think. It's either, well, we've got two sevens here anyway. It might be one of those. Seven of Boons, it's called. No, okay, it's a third seven, and it's the Seven of Pentacles. Patience, timeliness, waiting for the obvious directions, recognizing the best option, which could relate to this. It could suggest that you need to wait until it becomes clear what to go for. In the Enchanted Forest, there's always a door when you need one, eventually. The forest decides when your need is great enough to warrant a portal, and then sometimes it gives you more than one, a bit like those cups. The next stage of your journey is determined by the door you choose. So take your time. Don't rush through the first door that appears before you. Remember, this is a magical place and things are not always as they seem. Sit down and observe the scene for a while to judge its permanence. You don't want to step through a door into nothingness. This card is about patience as much as it is about choice. As you may have noticed, the suit of Boons doesn't go in much for speed or impetuosity. It's about practical responses to practical problems, even in the realm of enchantment. If you don't know what to do yet, don't do anything. Simple as that. Remember, once you choose a door, all the others disappear. Just double checking. Yeah. So that is a really good comment on your attitude. So we can see you scanning around and using your mind, but be very sure that you're picking what you need to pick. Don't jump. You've got the time. Don't jump at options that you're not sure about yet. And let's have a look at the Shining Tribe Tarot for another comment. This is our second to last comment card. Whoop, there it goes. Thank you for staying on the table. That's so funny. So she was at the bottom of the pack when I picked it up and she popped out again. I put her back in, but she wants to talk to us. I love it when that happens. Nine of Stones. This is the Nine of Pentacles with her beautiful falcon. This is you arriving at a very, very good place. Let's read the book. Um, oh, there we go. 9 of Stones. I love her pink. So in short, it says satisfaction, a good life, self-discipline, self-reliance, achievement, the need for discipline, the promise of great rewards to the person willing to make sacrifices, success, especially as the result of long work. I mean, amazing. You've got the 9 and 10 of Pentacles. So whatever has been going on, it's giving way to something really good. She's faced difficulties and has had to make sacrifices. She's alone, and we see a shadow on her face. The position of this shadow and the angle of her head indicate that she turns away from the sun. That is, away from spontaneity. That's 2 messages of taking your time. Instead of pure freedom, she's chosen a life of creative discipline, complexity, and development of her talents and hopes to their highest level. She smiles, for she knows the value of her life and her choices. It's talking about discipline. It talks about discipline. In the picture, we see 7 stars. There's 2 in the sky, 7 stars on the earth and 2 remaining in the sky. In creating our lives, we do not seek to master nature, either our own nature or realities of work, material needs, and so on, but to transform what nature gives us. The stars are chaotic because they're not tamed. She has not tamed their energy, but used it. So it's a bit like those 7 cups. The card expresses the idea of self-creation. She stands on her own land, pointing to the stars she has embodied in the reality of her life. The hooded falcon on her wrist symbolizes the discipline she's developed. We tend to think of discipline as restrictive and unpleasant. Spiritual discipline, however, is like creative will of the magician. It's a joyous experience. It enables us to make the most of our lives and our talents. Properly understood, discipline frees us rather than restricts us. Think of a talented young musician. If they do not practice daily, the ability and the excitement about music will not go very far. Discipline not only enables the person to do things that they once would have seemed impossible, it also brings knowledge of art's inner mysteries. Trained with love, the falcon soars higher than if it had been left in its natural state. I think that's so beautiful. What's this last bit? Behind the woman, we see 7 brown peaks, the victory number of the chariot. You've got 2 7s here, 3 7s here. And 5 green hills. 5 is the number of tradition, which suggests she's followed her life's path. The brown outnumbers the green because she has faced hard times in her life and she has had to struggle to make the stones glow with the life of the stars. Well, that's exactly it. We can see you have faced hard times recently, but you're getting through these decisions, through using your mind and through carefully choosing this right door, you're getting to exactly where you need. And I think that's gorgeous. So don't jump. Whoa, that one went straight off the table. It kind of somersaulted. Let's see what it is. I was just getting one. Yeah, that's lovely. Yes, don't rush it, I was just saying. And here we go with the Page of Pentacles. So we have in one potential outcome, the Queen giving her discipline to this slightly romanticized version of the page. And now we see the Page of Pentacles turning up. That's what it's counseling. It's saying, be disciplined, learn and think and find the right door, and you will be going exactly where you need to go. Generational wealth, and out of all of this slightly murky thinking into some very, very good, practical, tangible results. Congratulations. See you again.